Hey guys, welcome to the VoiceOver Freedom YouTube channel. I'm Chris. I've been doing pro voiceovers from the comfort of my home, and I'm going to teach you how to do the same. Today we're talking about why your voiceover editing sucks. Now first off, maybe you're not doing editing at all, and that might be okay starting out, but eventually if you want to get to really high quality voiceovers, you have to edit. And the first part about editing is before the editing. Now you have to have a good booth. That's what I'm talking about. You have to make sure that your surrounding is really well treated, that there's no echoes in your room, that you have a quiet space, you have your sound panels up, you don't have reflections, you don't have echoes. Now you can test that by clapping. If you clap and you can hear the echoes, you can hear the bouncing of the sound waves, then that means your booth is not good enough yet. You have to be able to clap and not hear anything. So remember that. Clap to test for reflections. Make sure you have a solid booth, and then record your audio using the proper mic technique. These are the first two most important things. Then once you have the audio, we need to edit it correctly. Okay, why did I bring that part up? Because you can't fix bad audio in editing. You can kind of work with it to an extent, but you can't fix it. I always say it's like a cake. Your voiceover is your cake. You baked it, you made it, it's recorded. Now editing is saying, okay, let me take all that noise and reverb out. You can't, because it's like saying, let me take out the eggs out of that cake. You can't take the reverb completely out because it's baked into that cake, if that makes sense. So by making sure you take all the proper precautions before recording, that's going to put you in a really good spot in the editing. So that's the first thing, is make sure that your recording environment and mic technique is optimal. That is going to make your editing 100 times better. Okay, so recording environment is great. And the second thing is you need to use two tools which are known as EQ and compression. These are your bread and butter. This is going to make the biggest difference in your voiceover quality. Our voices and all sounds that we hear are made up of frequencies. There's low frequencies, there's medium frequencies, and there's high frequencies, and there's everything in between. The human voice is about middle to high frequencies, and then maybe like a thumping on your chest, that's a low frequency. Bass in music, that's a low frequency. A hi-hat in a guitar kit, that's a high frequency. So they're all made up of different frequencies. Now what the EQ allows us to do is it allows us to manipulate each of those frequencies so that we can make the good ones sound better and louder, and we can minimize the bad ones. Amplify the good frequencies, the ones we want to hear, and minimize the bad frequencies, the ones that are just noisy or extra sound that we don't need. Now every audio can be EQ'd. It can be sound, it can be music, it can be anything. And that's really important because when we go into the editing, we want our audio to sound as pleasant as possible. So we want to take out that background noise. We want to take out that air, we want to just have our voice only, and we want to accentuate the positive qualities in that audio. So if you're really bassy, we want to turn down the bass, or if you're not bassy enough, we can turn up the bass. And if you're not clear enough, maybe your audio is a little dull, you can bring up the treble to make it a little more sharper and make it stand out more and cut through the any background music a little more. So this is important. The next thing is compression. Compression is a very confusing thing for a lot of producers, and it takes people years to master it. But it's very important, and it does make such a huge difference, especially if you want to go for that larger than life radio announcer or radio commercial condenser mic feel, because it's going to take the loudest sounds and the quietest sounds, and ultimately it's going to bring them together so that they're all loud. And that's what we want. We don't want sections of our audio to be quiet and really low, and then some sections to be really loud. It's too dynamic and it's a little jarring. If we bring those together, it's going to sound so professional. It's going to make the entire audio well balanced, nice and loud, very powerful, and it's going to sound great. It really stands out. So those three things together are going to be a powerful combination. And one more thing too that I like to use is a limiter. Some programs have a limiter where basically you can set a threshold in your audio so that anything below that threshold in volume gets taken out. And that's good if you have any sort of minor background noise. It gets completely taken out without affecting your main audio. Some programs can take out the background noise, but it'll also take out some of the quality from your main audio. But a limiter does not do that. A limiter takes out only the background noise and not your voice, which is perfect. It's gonna sound great. So make sure you have a great booth that's treated. There's no reflections, it's quiet, and you can clap and you don't hear any of that echo. And make sure you use proper mic technique, so you're not too far, you're not too close, you're just in the right spot to get the best audio from your mic. Number 2, use EQ. EQ to bring out the best frequencies in your audio, make it sound clear, make the bass more pronounced if you need to, make the mids a little bit higher or lower. And then thirdly, compression. Use that compression to bring your audio to a very loud and impressive sound and make it stand out. And fourth, use the limiter to take out any unnecessary background noise from your audio so that you're left with clear, high quality voiceover. And that's it, pretty simple. Each one of these takes its own time to master, so don't feel too overwhelmed. Try to tackle one at a time because each one is going to make a big difference in your audio already. So just one at a time, and don't be afraid to experiment as well. Each of these have different settings and different things you can do with them. So that's a lot of fun. If you want to learn more on how you can get started doing voiceovers from the comfort of your home, check out the link in my description where I walk you through my 6 secrets on how to get started. It took me years to find out. It's some of my best stuff. You're gonna love it. I'll see you there. Make sure to subscribe for future videos. Take care, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.